get started. So much stuff going on. Welcome, it's Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. It's a pretty rockin' Motang Monday, everybody. For those of you that don't know, Motang Monday is a phrase that we originated back when Trump had at least half his brain functioning.
Michigan gave us Motang.
Time has passed, and the man has not gotten healthier. As a matter of fact, the picture that they showed in the Daily Beast earlier today, it's not good. It's pretty. I'll see if I can dig it up later if I even need to warn you about that. And we're going to jump straight into stuff today, but let's start with this. Let's say hi to the chat room, by the way. Welcome. How are you? And also our lovely folks over at Instagram. Can you do me a favor? Can you throw in just an emoji in your, just say something in the chat? I know we got a lot of viewers. We got a lot of people watching over there, but I need some activity. It doesn't have to be anything personal. And since it's a Meta-owned company, perhaps an angry, the swearing emoji? That'll work. Just fire up one of those. And if you're on Facebook, same thing. There you go. See, Lisa knows. And Krabby. It's good. I don't know if the crab helps or if that's just an astrology thing, but I don't mind. Either way, there we go. When is Trump's photo not scary? Well, you're right. I would say it's scary for his followers. That would be the difference, I hear. Because I talk about this, and I have a hard time discussing this with our dear guests like John this morning. John Fugelsang joined us, and again, we're going to be doing that lovely meathook.live/not show this weekend. Not, which is not the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We're doing that Saturday. It's going to be fantastic. Great guests, everything. It's only $20.26 for a ticket because we're focusing on 2026. God damn it. So go over to Meat Hook, as in EET, not as in the ending of Cobra, Meat Hook. Obscure enough for you? .live/not, N-O-T. And that'll get you there. There you go. See? This is the YouTube people know how to do it. Although I don't know that helps on YouTube. I think what the YouTube people have to do, if you guys want to do like anything extra, is go to our videos that are on the channel and go in there and just type something in the comments. When you see this later or you see a piece of this, that helps us out immensely too. And look, I know that the difference between me and a lot of the other channels is that all my people are real. So we are mighty, but we are genuine. And I think that's the key. Now, the thing is, Trump did this thing. I'll have to. Where maybe that's it. Maybe this is where he's it was at the White House Easter egg thing. But goddamn, he just looks like a bag of shit. Now you're like, granted. He looks like a half-empty bag of shit would be the interesting thing. He's usually a full bag of shit. And I'll dig it up in a little bit. But let's get started into our videos because too much to cover. And not the least of which is I want to jump straight into, and this is why it comes up too, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is on the Daily Beast, okay? This is a video I showed earlier. We're going to go through it so that I can have a little time with this. But he drags his kids out. And at one point, I like, leave your kids out of it. Stop it. Stop using them as props. Let them stand somewhere else. If you're going to talk to the press about stuff and it's not going to deal with Easter, it's not going to deal with Easter, send them away. Be a fucking man. Don't do this in front of your children. It's bad enough they'll probably have to see it later, but, I mean, seriously. But this kid, whichever one of the many this is, he looks horrified half the time. I feel really bad for all these kids. Again, children do not pick their parents. So, like, all these kids, like, hands off, leave them alone, no criticism whatsoever, period. Lovely this morning with John and Al. Yes, Andy. Yes, absolutely. And, like, I just felt bad for them. I felt bad for the kids because he's going, I'm here with these kids for Easter. Like, fuck you, dude. You dug this hole, climb out of it. Stop handing a shovel to your kids and going, if this was the 30s, you guys would be working in a factory. So this is the title of this on Daily Beast. Hegseth melts down in front of own kids in rant to save job. And apparently, that is already not, it's too late. Now, will they admit to it up until the point where he's gone? I mean, look at the tariffs. No. The tariffs are permanent. They're not going anywhere. There are no exceptions. Everybody gets the same shit. We're dead serious. Oh, well, accept that. Accept all these. And we'll cut half of them. And we'll 90-day pause. Right. This guy it stands firm until he bitches out. And that's what's clearly going to happen in this case. And like, I made this point earlier with John, who was great, and we love to have you back on the show. John, people should bother John about being on the show, and I should come on his show. I'm just saying, it would help. Anyways, this idea of like two wicks being lit at the same time, and neither of us know which one is shorter. Either the wick is lit where he has to talk to Congress, or that he quits or / is fired. He resigns, out of respect for the president. One of those is going to go off. If it's the congressional one, the other one will go off too. So the question goes, well, why don't you just go ahead and call it a fucking day? So that is clearly what's going on here. And it's no surprise that this dude is completely ineffective at doing this job. He's an asshole. Even his besties that he dragged along with him can't stand working for him. And again, can I just say on a personal note, chat room, and I think many of you probably feel the same way, that if I had a bureaucracy the size of the fucking Pentagon to back up everything I needed done, that there was literally no end, this motherfucker's chief of staff has a deputy chief of staff who has a chief of staff. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you know how dense the fucking, the body count over there is? If you need to get shit done and you need to organize stuff, I mean, it's as good as automating every fucking thing. And the fact that this guy can be this lazy and lame a fuck up he could literally, because it's SecDef, on behalf of the president, I need an entire staff to do this thing for me. And it would be, some of this stuff could be embarrassing. They could fucking paint his garage and it would be annoying and it would be a scandal and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is he literally could do it for all the stuff he needs to ultimately do, including, hey, bring me the special phone. I need to message this to my team. Like, they're always fucking there. The SecDef has access to an equivalent of the football and a skiff all the fucking time. If you or I had that, holy shit. It goes even beyond being lazy. Like, you have to almost be doing it on purpose to be this big a fuck up like this guy is. You have to work to fuck up a lead like that. You know what I mean? It's like you're playing on an NBA team. You've been assigned to this NBA team. You don't play basketball worth of shit. But you've got every great player around you, knows the court back and forth. And the other team is just a series of your own past fuck-ups that will be portrayed in this analogy as a group of middle school kids who only know how to play Foursquare. And they are fucking you up. I don't get it. Like, it is, I understand that, I agree it's lazy as fuck. But it's like actively lazy. Is Hegseth ever alone? Well, that's the thing. The problem with the maggots and the maggots surrounding Trump specifically is that they think they got a kiss my ass card from the fucking government to act however they want because they know the boss and the boss will back them no matter what they do. All right, I'll show you. And let me show you the moment when I knew that Hegseth is fucked. Because Trump will tap dance around this horse shit left and right. I understood. Check this out. This is from this morning. This is, he comes forward. Look at this kid. Like, I feel so bad. There's his wife. And then this kid, this is one of the kids from his previous marriage. I don't know if, like, can you imagine her, like, go with your dad? Like, ugh. Because they have a baby together, but the rest of the kids are from his first 2 relationships. One of which he was in when he started fucking this lady, got her pregnant, left his wife, and married her. You know, family values. Jesus Christ. And you know what's odd? Is these assholes will go off on, like, the left's loose sexuality, you know, people being bi, people being poly, all that kind of stuff. They'll mock it endlessly. And yet these, like, serial faux monogamist, you know, alleged Christian faux evangelicals can philander. And I mean, look at Newt Gingrich, like, serving his ex-wife with divorce papers when she's recovering from cancer surgery. Just like Trump and just burying his kid's mother on a fucking golf course with no headstone. Don, Eric, I still don't fucking get it, man. I know why Ivanka is not around. I know why she and Jared have, like, pinched every fucking penny they could find and beat feet to never be around this motherfucker ever again if they don't have to be. But and maybe that's what's happening, because I haven't seen a lot of Don and Eric. I've seen Eric defend him a little bit on Newsmax, but for the most part, they're just out there making money. But I don't know, like, how do you do it? I mean, maybe, you know, the only other answer is you hated your mom. Like, I don't get it. Fuck. So crazy. All right, here we go. So this is him dragging his poor kids up, or his new wife pushing them forward. Like, go stand next to him so they can't attack him.
Hey, we're happy to be here at the Easter egg roll, I'll tell you that. Be with the family, beautiful day. And President Trump is changing the country.
President Trump is changing the country. Yeah, we used to have a functioning military and we could keep a secret, but now fuck that. Like, and this is also his media training from being on Fox. He does a lot of looking right down the barrel. He talks to the camera a lot. It's aggravating.
Creating opportunities for families all across America to better their lives. And that's what makes America great.
What, better their lives? What? Yeah, teaching them how to be bootstrappers. You know, they've forgotten how to watch their entire fortune collapse and have to rebuild it from scratch. It teaches character. You know, it's tough love.
It's all about.
Do you have anything you want to say, sir, about the signal chat controversy?
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired.
A few leakers get fired. Okay, dipshit. There's your first mistake. Because as we say around here, come on, kids, say it with me, you can't leak a lie. Hashtag you can't leak a lie. You can lie to the press. You can tell the press something that is untrue, but that's not a leak. It never will be. You cannot leak a lie. You can only leak something that is true. So the fact that he's calling these people leakers is an admission of guilt.
A bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And you know what? We could settle this. Let's just settle this shit. Release the grand jury transcripts from the Mueller investigation. That'll do it. Won't that settle it, everybody? That'll settle it right the fuck up. And hell, reopen it and allow Mueller to look at Trump's finances, because those were off limits. And if you can't, that would be the motive part of why he was doing a lot of this. So if you don't have means, motive, and opportunity, you've got motive and opportunity, but you can't prove means. You cannot, give a recommendation for charges unless you can establish motive, in that you wouldn't as a prosecutor most of the time. And if you're not allowed to look at motive, especially when it's financial, you'll never be able to press charges. And they were counting on that. So fuck off with this garbage. And look at his face. Look at this bullshit. Look at this. Huh? This is a guy who is trying everything he can to deflect his fuck up. And this is nobody else's mistake. Well, except Trump hiring him. But this is like the existence of Signal isn't the problem. Even the other people he put on there isn't the problem. He did this.
Answers for a bunch of lies and on hoaxes, time and time and time again.
So what does that have to do with this? Because it's true, it's provable. So you denying it? You're gonna release the I guess FOIA request for those signal chats because they have to be preserved would make us all look like assholes, I guess, huh? So you're just gonna be releasing those, I suppose.
And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it.
What the fuck are you talking about? All you motherfuckers do is use Russia as a disparaging, as a pejorative for a true investigation. Of course, like Trump says this all the time. He calls them fake news constantly. The nobody is anybody with any fucking sense.
This is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled
They're not anonymous, dum-dum.
employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not
Well,
with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters.
okay, the bumper sticker.
And anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with...
Also, by the way, not old news. This is yesterday, motherfucker. This is brand new. The old news, which I still, hey, say all this stuff under oath. You could put this all to bed. You could finish this shit off immediately. But this is yesterday, dumbass.
Dad and my kids, because,
Look at this kid. I fucking feel so bad for them. Like, look at these kids that my wife shoved over here. I think she's next to her.
this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here.
Asshole. Leave your kids out of it.
This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats.
Is it why you're leaking attack plans on unsecure internet apps?
We're fighting hoaxsters. This group, no, this group right here, full of hoaxsters.
All right, I gotta say, like, he's starting to lose his rhetorical erection here. Bunch of hoaxsters. That's what you guys are, okay? Bunch of hoaxsters and tricksters. People being flippant. That's what I see. All right. Who wants to beat erasers at the end of school? Like it has that kind of an energy.
Peddle anonymous sources from leakers with axes to grind.
Why would they have an axe to grind? I guess that's another question. They're leaking real information. They're not anonymous people have access to grind. So whoever these people are, you're kind of cutting into that anonymous thing if you're admitting that you probably know who they are and they have a reason to be pissed. Right?
Yes. Put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know it, we know exactly what it is. So I'm really...
Yes, we do. We know exactly what it is. You're a fuck up. You fucked up. And you're not enough of a man to admit it. That's what it is. You fucked up.
Proud of what we're doing for the president.
Twice that we know of.
Fighting hard across the board. And I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids. Thank you very much.
I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kid. Look at this. Look at these kids. Look at, especially this kid. Like, it's fucking brutal. Now, at the beginning of this thing, hold on, let me see if we can find the moment.
I want to say, sir, about the signal chat controversy.
What a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again. And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees.
There it is. Former employees. Like that's the moment where you know this is fucked. This is like he kind of recovers a little bit and sticks the angry landing at the end of the interview. But this is the moment where he breaks.
It does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash them.
Former employees. That break right there. That's the dead giveaway. That's where you know Hegseth knows he's fucked. Former employees, you know, I know that. Why wouldn't you think I know that? Of course I know that. I know that. I know that. Why wouldn't I know that? Of course I know that. Why you didn't have to say that. I know that. I know I know that. Why would I know that? Of course. I mean, these are anonymous people. It's all a hoax. Everyone knows that. I know that. You know that. Everyone knows. Of course I know that. That's what that is. That's where his break is. God damn. And according to, you know, increasingly like verbose sources, people who are like, I mean, oh yeah, or whatever his name is, like however you pronounce it. He said it in Politico. The other guys who were just fired on Friday, they'll either speak to congressional leadership or in a closed door session or something like that before they talk to the press, or they'll end up talking to the press, or somebody just overheard them at a restaurant going, "Fuck this dude," which is really what's going on in a bunch of these articles. Now, meanwhile, Trump came out and talked to the reporters at the Easter egg roll, and I think largely tried to defend all of his current fuckers. Didn't go to church, went to this thing for a little bit, and then went golfing. Okay, then they go over there. There's Walt. By the way, if you'd noticed real quick, there's Walt Nada is right over here. There he is. The guy who organized the flooding of the server room at Mar-a-Lago. The guy who took the boxes back and forth from the little storage room to Trump's office. Walt Nada rewarded for loyalty as his number two.
We're gonna aluminum and steel.
Hold on.
I think they're going very well. We're gonna make a lot of money. We're already at 25% on cars and aluminum and steel, taking in a lot of money, more money than this country's seen, and that's just the beginning. I don't know yet.
Also, more money than this country's seen. Where do you think he is? Fucking Paraguay? We have the biggest economy on the planet.
Going to be briefed on it right now. Like
No offense to Paraguay, but you get what I'm saying.
To the Oval Office. Say it. Would you like to go? Well, I don't know. I just have to look at the timing. We just lowered the flags throughout the country. It's part of Russia. So I will be giving you a full detail over the next 3 days. But we had very good meetings on Ukraine, Russia. We had very good meetings actually on Iran too. We'll see how that works out. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Next step is we need a little time, but we had very.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm guessing. What do you think? 2 weeks? 2 weeks and or a very short period of time in the very near future.
Meetings on Iran. We had very good, and the tariffs are going very well, as you know. Everybody wants to negotiate.
No, they don't.
He's a very good man who loved the world, and he especially loved people that were having a hard time, and that's good with me.
So he preached tolerance for
I think he's talking about the Pope.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I really do. I mean, I hear they're doing that whole thing again. Here we go again. Just a waste of time. He is doing a great job.
Why do you still have
Okay, so they asked him about Signal. This is the part where they asked him about Signal.
Because he's doing a great job. Ask
by what metric?
the Houthis how he's doing.
There's a hearing today on the Alien Enemies Act in the D.C. District Court. Your thoughts on that, Mr. President?
Well, we were elected to...
Also, can I just say that what the fuck does the SecDef have to do with how well the Houthis are doing? First of all, they still exist. I don't know what to tell you as far as like, what do you like? Don't act like you wiped them out like you allegedly did with ISIS. But why does this? I mean, the SecDef helps carry this stuff out. It's not his strategy. Like, he's just a conduit at that point from the president to, like, I guess the liaison. Once they get to the point where they're calling attacks and giving the go, it's the president that does that, not the Secretary of Defense. It's so weird.
The mess of this country. And we had millions and millions of people come in who are criminals, who are murderers, who are everything you can imagine, drug lords, drug dealers. They came in from prisons and from mental institutions. And I was elected.
I mean, hey, he's playing the hits.
Move them out, among many other things. And that's what we're doing.
Mr. President?
They're actually not, though. I mean, they're on track to have fewer deportations and removals than Biden did in his final year.
Ask the Houthis how much dysfunction there is. There's none. Pete's doing a great job. Everybody's happy with him. We have the highest recruitment numbers I think they've had in 28 years.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with their faith in the Secretary of Defense, weirdo.
No, he's doing a great job.
If anything, it's in spite of it.
It's fake news. They just bring up stories. I guess it sounds like disgruntled employees. You know, he was put there to...
Why would they be disgruntled? First of all, he hired them. They're his buddies. He brought his bros, and his bros fucking hate him.
Get rid of a lot of bad people, and that's what...
Right, but these are okay. Fine, drain the swamp, get rid of the deep state. He brought these motherfuckers with him. How do you not know that? Also, reporters, if you're going to follow up going, he hired the people he brought in. He fired the people he brought in. The people that are quitting or that you're firing were part of his team he brought. These aren't deep state actors. These aren't, fucking holdovers from the Biden administration. They're not deep fucking state.
So you don't always have friends when you do that.
Should he stop using
You don't always have friends. You don't have friends to start with, stupid.
I'm going to be there. I hope to be.
The McLeod course, you're going to open that?
We're opening a fantastic project there, yeah. And I hope I'm going to get to see it.
We look forward to seeing it.
It's going to be great. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, will you comply with Supreme Court?
Mr. President, immigrants, you've ordered a lot of them to leave the country, but travel to Haiti is almost nearly impossible because flights have been suspended. What do you make of that?
Well, I make of the fact that we have to have a safe country. If people are in our country illegally, and if they have records that are very bad in particular, we have to get them out.
Okay, she asked him, by the way, about, like, you gave Haitians an order to leave the country to self-deport or be deported, but there are no commercial flights because we suspended commercial flights to Haiti, so they couldn't self-deport if they wanted to. So the idea, he doesn't give a shit. He wants them to just go to fucking Mexico or get in a boat and go adrift. He doesn't care where they go as long as they're not here. So,
as you know, elected on the basis that we would have very little crime in our country. They don't want illegal immigrants. We've closed up the border. The border is now the strongest border we've ever had.
These are Haitians who came legally through that Biden-era program, who their communities, even in Texas, conservative voters saying these people should not be forced to leave.
Well, if they came legally, then they're going to be in good shape. Okay?
So you're not going to deport them? There's a Thursday deadline, Mr. Trump.
He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't have any idea at all. He has no idea how any of this shit runs. He's there to sign pages of Project 2025 and then go golfing. And sign hats. I forgot sign hats.
I look forward to working with you one day, sir. I really do. Both my parents are working.
Anyways, so that's basically the end of it. He doesn't answer any more questions, but largely this is just him running interference. Here's what you need to know most about this is that as much as he likes being at war with the press, or he thinks it's some sort of like power position that he has and he likes dunking on them, he does not like it when he feels like they have leverage on him in that they're on the right side of a story and he's not. even if he thinks he can push back on it and say Pete's doing a great job and all that stuff, you can tell through all the secondary reporting that he doesn't like it. And you can tell by his response to the questions that he's just covering to this point, hoping it goes away again. And it isn't going to. It is not. So he hates it. He gets it. You can tell he gets irritated. That's why he said it's an old issue. It's, water under the bridge is his attitude. But it's not. It's not going away. It's not going away. And there is one of these wicks will burn out first, which is he'll either answer questions in front of Congress because they'll have an appropriations hearing, and every Democrat is going to ask him whether he thinks that attack plans, as they're been given a go and as they're being carried out, are classified or are top secret. And if he says no, he'll lose his job. And if he says yes, he should lose his job because he mishandled classified information. Like he's in a box of his own making. He painted himself into a dum-dum corner. Yeah.